Good morning and welcome everybody to the Lakers Lowdown podcast. I'm Anthony Irwin of LakersDaily.com. Today on the show, the Lakers beat the Brooklyn Nets yesterday as LeBron James goes absolutely bananas from three-point range. Gabe Vincent came back, so we'll talk about that. And we will also take a look at the standings as they currently stand. Yes, the standings are standing. Let's get to that here in a little bit. All right, so the final yesterday was 116 to 104. The Lakers beat the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn. Kind of a like my dad's in town, and at least 3 or 4 times yesterday or in the day between losing to the Indiana Pacers and then, playing the Brooklyn Nets, at least 3 or 4 times my dad was like, this game, they kind of sort of need this one, right? And they really did. The Lakers really did need to beat the Brooklyn Nets. You cannot afford to lose the occasional, even dumb game. That's why, I tweeted out after the Lakers lost to the Indiana Pacers. Yeah, I know it was their third game in 4 nights. Yeah, I know they were clearly exhausted. Yeah, that's probably why they shot really poorly from 3-point range. But I don't care. Standings don't care. Rest of the league doesn't care. You got to perform. You got to win that kind of a game if you want to overtake the likes of the Sacramento Kings or the likes of the Phoenix Suns. If you want to stick it out in the 9 seed, okay. I'm sure Jeannie Buss wouldn't hate the idea of an extra playoff games revenue, especially against what would appear to be the Golden State Warriors. But yeah, I in this one, the Lakers needed to win it. They did win it, and they did so in fairly convincing fashion, right? They jumped out to a crazy lead early and then just kind of treaded water from that point forward. Brooklyn did get it to single digits at a point here and there, but for the most part, the Lakers, especially with the way that LeBron was shooting the ball, for the most part, the Lakers were pretty comfortable throughout and were able to take care of business. So, a couple quick notes though on this one. Obviously, we'll talk about LeBron here in a second, but for the Lakers to go into Brooklyn and handle them the way that they did, like right from the get go, I thought that with Gabe coming back, uh, Darvin is going to have his kind of tendencies challenged here to a certain extent, and that starting unit coming together right away and in this game, right? And basically just informing the Brooklyn Nets and everybody else watching this is not going to be a game was really nice to see. It was also great to see them bounce back again from that really frustrating Indiana loss and take care of business here and not really ever need to stress over the game. I don't love the minutes in a game that you jumped out to the kind of lead that the Lakers did jump out to. Anthony Davis plays 35 minutes. That's pretty good. Rui plays 37 minutes. That's great, in my opinion. But then LeBron plays 37. That's a little too many. Reeves and Russell play 35 and 32, respectively. And then, the bench was pretty deep here because of the garbage time that was played. The bench did struggle to score, right? You look at the numbers here. AD 24 points, Rui Hachimura 20 points, LeBron scored his 40, D'Angelo Russell scored 18, and Reeves scored 12. And you look at the bench, and it is Gabe Vincent with 2 points. That is the extent of the bench's scoring. Now, some of this is going to be a bit of a work in progress, especially now that Gabe is back. Jackson Hayes wasn't available, and with the way that he has been playing, and what he can do in the pick and roll for that second unit offensively, you can kind of see that they missed that as an option. But they are going to need to get some kind of production from their second unit. Cam Reddish only played 2 minutes. Dinwiddie played 21 minutes, was 0 for 2 from the field, both of those being 3-pointers. neither of those three-pointers looking particularly comfortable. Vincent was out there, shot 4 times, went 0 for 2 from three-point range. He never looked all that comfortable out there. The bench is going to have to figure something out here. And, part of it is who is going to be available and all that stuff. And I'll talk about Gabe here in a second. But if I had one thing that, I wouldn't go so far as to say that it worried me. It is shocking to look at the box score and say, wow, 2 points total from the bench in a blowout is certainly not ideal. But overall, beating the Brooklyn Nets in that way, coming off of that annoying loss to the Indiana Pacers, that's all that really matters, especially when you consider what went on around the league. The Lakers picked up an important win. That's end of note. Let's talk about LeBron, because good God, I don't know if it's a New York thing. I don't know what got into him. He was hitting insane shot after insane shot. And actually, even while I said in the last segment that the Lakers never particularly stressed about this one, it got, there were definitely some times where LeBron would hit the occasional three that ended a run or something like that. So that was, obviously important, and it's great to win one of those games where he shoots like that. His final line is just insane. 40 points tonight on 17 shots. He goes 13 of 17 from the field, 9 of 10, not from the free throw line, not from the field. Nope. From 3-point range. He goes 9 of 10 from 3-point range, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 7 boards, 5 assists, was a plus 22, which was good enough for second on the game behind only Austin Reeves. Again, he scored those 40 points. And it was funny. When you watch LeBron in these kind of crazy shooting nights, LeBron isn't wired to take heat checks, right? Like normally when LeBron has it really going, it kind of comes within the flow of the game, and he allows himself to go into, like, he relinquishes some of that momentum for the flow of the game, especially at this stage of his career. You'll see some of that. But with the Lakers today, and kind of the situation that the Lakers find themselves in as they continue to try to climb out of the 9 or the 10 spot, LeBron basically is just, the whole time he was out there, he was like, "Nah, this is my game. This one is mine. Brooklyn, you are not winning this one." And good Lord. Also, this was a funny one, and I consider myself one of these people, but it's a funny one to kind of look at and say, you know, not exactly a great uh statement for Dorian Finney-Smith or Mikal Bridges, right, in this one. Two of the wing kind of stoppers here. I guess you can lump Cam Johnson into that to a certain extent as well. But when LeBron goes off like that, I honestly, I'm not positive it would have mattered who was guarding him, especially when he shoots 9 of 10 from 3-point range. That was just LeBron going absolutely ether, and absolutely taking it to an entire city. And boy, what a fun watch that was. And after the game, he was asked about his career and all of that stuff, and he gave the quote that has everybody kind of going, kind of nuts, right? I don't have long in this game. He's right. Like you're probably down to a handful of years, if that, of LeBron James playing basketball in the NBA. So you do have to, like, when these games are happening. My mom is in town. She hates LeBron. She is not a LeBron person. And even there, like, he was hitting the occasional shot that was just like, whew. And for me, I'm sitting there like, soaking it all up. And that's my advice to everybody who watched that kind of a game. And when you see that kind of look in LeBron's eyes, you know, take a seat, right? Take it in, pour yourself a cocktail or whatever it is that you choose to do there. grab everybody around you and just say, like, guys, LeBron's doing LeBron stuff tonight. And that's one of the better offensive games you're ever going to see. Like, just flat out. Like, that is legitimately, for most players, that's the greatest game that they will ever play. Like, ever. Uh Pro, college, high school, rec, intramural, doesn't matter. Like, that is the best game that the vast majority of human beings who walk this planet will ever play in. And for LeBron, I don't know if it's like top 10 for him. Like, if he was to look back on his favorite games of all time, I'm not sure this cracks the top 25 even. This was just insane by an incredible player. And I do sincerely hope that everybody was able to set aside some time from, if for everybody who celebrated Easter yesterday, happy Easter. But set aside some time, grab your family so that they could participate in it too, and just marvel at the fact that this guy is doing that at 39 years old. And it seems 9 of 10 from 3-point range, not all that sustainable, but you never really feel like you're watching him, and you're watching him on his way out of the league. You're watching this guy in like yet another prime, right? Not his actual prime, not his late prime, not anything like this is just a different chapter that he's able to reach certain heights with, and we get to take it all in as Lakers fans. It's just what an incredible game. Elsewhere in the game, we saw Gabe Vincent come back from injury. The reports had been swirling that he might come back. Obviously, I reported that I didn't believe he was going to. And look, he was able to play. And I think it's a net positive for the Lakers. He didn't look very good out there. Again, 14 minutes. Ironically, 14 minutes is the same number of same amount of time he spent on the court the last time he came back. And then he wound up missing a bunch of time after that, needing surgery and all of that stuff. But in those 14 minutes, he goes 1 of 4 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3-point range. For whatever reason this year, Gabe has not been able to find his 3-point stroke. He grabbed a rebound. I guess he had a steal, dished out an assist, and scored those 2 points. And I it looks like if this was kind of a preview of what the rotation might look like with Gabe in it, you saw Cam Reddish's minutes go all the way to 2 in this one. Max Christie played 3 minutes in this one, but they were all in garbage time. And then Taurean Prince's minutes even dropped a little bit. He played 15. Prince did get hurt at one point, so we'll have to keep an eye on how Taurean Prince is feeling here moving forward. The rotation is somewhat wonky because Jackson Hayes didn't play. So, you had LeBron or Rui at the 5 type of lineups, as Colin Castleton only played 6 minutes. But yeah, you have Spencer Dinwiddie at 21 minutes. You had Gabe Vincent at 14 minutes. You would imagine that Jackson Hayes is going to get some, all of Colin Castleton's and maybe a few of Anthony Davis's. Ideally, I guess. I don't know. And then you have, in your backcourt, you have D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves playing 32 minutes and 35 minutes respectively. And you have Gabe Vincent in there at 14 and Spencer Dinwiddie in there at 21. So the team, the rotation did get smaller. Like, you swap out Cam Reddish for Gabe Vincent. Now, I'm not really complaining because Gabe Vincent is a better basketball player than Cam Reddish, and that is always how Darvin is going to lean. He is always going to lean on talent and skill. And in this case, it means that Cam Reddish is now no longer a part of the rotation, and we'll see what that looks like moving forward. Honestly, I think we have to keep a close eye on how Gabe's body responds to playing basketball again. Again, he did not look good out there. He was a step slow offensively and defensively, as you would expect, right? And the Lakers are going to have to try to ramp him up. And in terms of what he brings, he said after the game, he obviously is very thankful to be back out there. And he said how his job is now to kind of fill in gaps. Um, Lakers have somebody like that. Honestly, in Spencer Dinwiddie, he also is a gap filler. So those two guys, if they are going to approach coming back and filling whatever role that they can in that way and show that type of maturity, I think that's mostly a good thing. And hopefully over the next couple weeks or so, Gabe's body allows him to actually ramp up and be ready for the postseason, because it does appear as if Darvin is going to lean on him and remove Max Christie and Cam Reddish from the rotation. I disagree with the Christie aspect of this. I guess I have to keep on saying this until I'm blue in the face, but I think that decision had been made earlier this year. For whatever reason, Darvin just does not trust Max Christie and has looked for every opportunity to not play him or find somebody else to take those minutes from him. And in this case, it is going to be Gabe Vincent here moving forward, so long as he is healthy. So, look, it was good to see Gabe back out there. Hopefully, his body responds well to being back out there, and hopefully, he's able to string together a few productive games so that he has some momentum going into the play-in and/or the playoffs. All right, let's take a look now at the standings as things sit right now. So the Lakers sit at 42 and 33. That is one loss ahead of the Golden State Warriors, who are 40 and 34 in the 10 spot. In the 8 spot, you have the Phoenix Suns, and in the 7 spot, you have the Sacramento Kings. Both of those teams are 43 and 31. A game and a half up on the Lakers. Now, the Lakers do have a tiebreaker with the Phoenix Suns. So if things do get tight there, then, you have that advantage. They very much do not have the tiebreaker against the Sacramento Kings. And, we'll see what that looks like. Sacramento was in action last night. They did pick up a big win over Utah. And elsewhere in the league, you had the Clippers beat the Charlotte Hornets. The Clippers are now, they don't really factor into any of what we're kind of looking at here. You had Golden State barely beat the San Antonio Spurs. Golden State is behind the Lakers here, so what happens behind the Lakers doesn't matter so much. Dallas beat the Houston Rockets, which is not great for a Houston Rockets team that is trying to climb and leapfrog the Golden State Warriors. That is a bit of a blow there for those two teams. But yeah, in terms of help that the Lakers may have been looking for, Phoenix didn't play. The Sacramento Kings won, and if you want to consider the Pelicans a possibility of dropping here, I do not personally. They were not in action. So, you look ahead for the Lakers here. Their schedule is quite a bit easier to wrap things up than the Phoenix Suns. So maybe if you take care of business often enough, you can leapfrog them and have an opportunity to move into the playoffs with only one win. Now you would have to do that in Sacramento in all likelihood. But regardless, there is no easy path here, right? Like, you jump up to the 8 spot, you have to win in Sacramento, and then your reward for that, as things stand right now, is the Denver Nuggets, who are in the 2 spot. If the Lakers stay in the 9 spot, right? Yeah, you got a home game against the Golden State Warriors, and then you have to play the loser of the Sacramento Kings and the Phoenix Suns for the opportunity to sit at the 8 spot. And right now, it's the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I think the Lakers like how they match up against the Oklahoma City Thunder. But that path that you have to take to get there, where you're playing Steph in a single game elimination environment, and then you're playing potentially Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal in a single game elimination situation. the West is just nuts. The West sucks. Like it sucks to play in the Western Conference because every single path that you have to take through it is pretty brutal. You look at like let's compare this to the East because this is pretty nauseating. The Miami Heat and the Philadelphia 76ers are going to face off as things stand right now as the 7 and 8 seed in that play-in game. And then the winner of that plays the Milwaukee Bucks, a team that the Lakers, I think, match up quite well against. The Miami Heat have been pretty mediocre all year, and the Philadelphia 76ers have been without Joel Embiid for a chunk of time here and may continue to be without him moving forward. And then in the 9 and 10 spot, you have the Chicago Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks, who have 36 and 34 wins, respectively. The Chicago Bulls have been worse, less than mediocre all year, and the Atlanta Hawks have just been bad for most of the season. It sure would be nice if the Lakers were able to play any of those four teams, quite frankly. Any of those four teams. Instead, the Lakers are going to have to play against some combination potentially of Steph Curry and the rest of that Golden State Warriors team, and or Kevin Durant and the rest of that Phoenix Suns team, or the Sacramento Kings, who have absolutely owned the Lakers this season. It's just a brutal run that the Lakers are going to have to go through to get into the postseason, and we'll see what they're able to do when that time comes. All right, the Lakers are not in action tonight. By the time you guys are listening to this, so I'm still working. I had a guest lined up, but with the holiday and everything that's going on there, things have kind of fallen through. So I'm still working to figure out a guest to look and to talk to about this entire situation. I would like to start talking to, and I will start talking to hosts of shows that cover some of these teams that the Lakers are going to be competing against, right? I haven't talked to my boys, Sam and Andy, about the Warriors in a while. I could talk to, somebody about the Suns or somebody about the Kings. Plenty of directions that we can go in here as the season kind of comes to a close. But for the Lakers and for those of you listening and watching, please do hit that subscribe button. Please do, whether you're on YouTube right now or you are listening in your car, tell your friends about the show. Let's grow let's grow this thing grassroots style and keep this thing rolling. And let's go into the postseason, the play-in and the postseason with some momentum of our own. Please do leave some of those 5-star reviews. I will answer some of those hopefully on tomorrow's show, and get to those as quickly as I possibly can there as well. And yeah, I hope everybody had a nice, safe holiday weekend. Hope everybody got to celebrate with your family, and if you didn't celebrate over the weekend, celebrate Easter, that is, over the weekend, I hope you're still safe that way too, and we all can just roll along through what is left of this NBA season together. So until the next time you guys hear from me, I'm Anthony Irwin saying have a great rest of your day, make somebody else's, and I will talk to you tomorrow.